Hello and welcome to the Temple of Tomes with your host, Indie Comics Jones. Today is July 19th, 2021. This is episode 368, I believe. Okay, today we're going to look at books that I'm no longer reading and the reasons for them. All right, but thanks again for the 200 subs. I love it. Keep it up the good work. Please sub if you haven't. It makes me feel better. Get one or two subs a day. It's great. Okay, first off, Batman Zero Point. This was a Fortnite tie-in. Thank you. This is number one. It was actually a third printing. I was just curious. I bought it. I thought the story was pretty weak. It ends up being a Batman Catwoman story. I don't play Fortnite, so the skin's still intact. This will be going back to the store. Up next, from Marvel, number one, Carnage, Black, White, and Blood. It was kind of a small anthology. I thought the story was way out of context. All three of them, three or four stories in there. One of them was a Western, and I liked that one the best of them. But the rest is just, it was hard to get through. So that one's going back. Chasing the Dragon, coming out from Heavy Metal. I went 3 issues in on this, was kind of liking it at the beginning, was recommending it, and the third issue, it got very tiresome, so I dipped out of that one. The Sumerian, coming from a Blaze, this was a 3-issue shot. The name of the arc was Iron Shadows in the Moon. It was a total recommend. It was a little different than the Conan you might be used to. It was more thinking. He was trying to more plan and scheme. But I thought it was a pretty good story, strong story nonetheless. Courier, coming out from Zenoscope. This was a 3-issue. I did finish the Sumerian, by the way, that arc. It was the Courier is a recommend, Ralph Tedesco. That one was also 3-issue arc. It is a recommend, very adventurous, very exciting. Let me go to the next one. I went 5 issues deep on the Deep Beyond. This is Miracle on Dolpha. The first 4 issues I thought were pretty strong. The 5th one just went way off the hacienda, so I'm out on it. It was just way out there. Up next is V.E. Schwab's Extraordinary. This was ordinary. That would be a compliment to call it ordinary. It was just not very well written, in my opinion. Up next, we have The God of War. I did finish this arc. I believe it was 4 issues. Could have been done, I think it could have been tied up in 2 or 3 issues, actually, but it was exciting enough. Chris Robertson, writer on this. The art in the first issue was really good, and then the art the rest of the way it was not quite as strong. Up next, that was a Dark Horse. This one is from Image Comics. It's called Helm Grey Castle. I liked the first issue a lot. The second issue brought in other characters and kind of ignored the storyline from the first, so I dipped out. Harley Quinn, DC Comic number 1, Infinite Frontier. She has a whole new look. However, the story was really not that good. Stephanie Phillips on it. Didn't like it. Did not like it at all. I dipped out after 1. Homesick Pilots. Finished the first arc on this. Punk rock, Image Comics, punk rock horror story. I liked it, but I am skipping the next arc because I want to read other stuff. So that's the name on that one. But it was good. I thought that was a pretty good one. Iron Fist, Heart of the Dragon arc. This was 5 issues. No, it was 6 issues. Very good. Larry Hama, a little disappointed at the very end, but other than that, it was a lot of fun. A real lot of fun, especially for a Marvel comic. The Joker, this really should be called James Gordon because he's in it most of the time. The first 4 issues, loved it. The 5th issue got a new writer and art team on it, and it kind of went off track, and it's kind of sucked, to be honest with you. So I dropped it. That had a punchline side story. A new artist team on that one too, and it didn't help it. King in Black from Marvel. This was a mini series. The first 2 issues great. Second 2 issues pretty good. 4th, 5th issue was a disappointment. Kind of recommend the series though. Overall, that's a Donny Cates book. We have a Mike Wolfer book, Land That Time Forgot, Fearless from American Productions, Mythology Productions, excuse me. Just fun, exciting 3-issue arc. A lot of fun. Up next is the first issue of Magic. Jed McKay was the writer on this. There wasn't any characters I liked, so I was out, basically. That was it. The story I didn't think was that compelling. I didn't know who was a good guy, bad guy. Wasn't even mysterious about it. Maniac of New York is Jason meets Midnight Meat Train, and I thought it was pretty predictable. Aftershock, a lot of people are liking this. Elliot Callan, I didn't care for it. Up next, Man's World from Awa Upshot, 4 issues. I thought this was phenomenal. I loved it. First issue is all set up, so it was kind of slow. Not a lot happens, but the last 3, holy cow, hold on to your horses. Up next, from Awa Upshot again, Marjorie Finnegan, Temporal Criminal, Garth Ennis. First issue I liked a lot. Second issue was disgusting, disappointed, so I dropped it. Moon Maid, the 3 Keys arc, coming out from Mike Wolfer and American Mythology Productions again. I finished this. It's just an exciting adventure on the intercore of the moon, which has its own atmosphere. A lot of fun. Ed Piskor, I should say. Red Room. This was a really well done comic. It is grotesque, and you have to have the right kind of appeal for it. I did recommend it for people that are looking for something very weird. It is very weird, and it's pretty much everything you see here. It delivers, but it's not for me, so I'm stepping away from the series. Goldilocks from the Robin, that's the arc. Robin Hood is the main title. This is a one-shot, and it was good. Oversized, I liked it a lot. Joe Bruscia on it. Up next is another Robin Hood book, another one-shot. Cult of the Spider Queen. We might see that Spider Queen again, but that was a good book as well. Just exciting, fun stuff. Joe Bruscia. Then we have Robin Hood Voodoo Dawn. I did not like this story. This is Joe Bruscia, but it was just a weak story in my opinion. They should not bring it back. No more Voodoo Dawn. Okay, then we have RWBY and the Justice League DC #1. From Bennett is the writer. I did not like this. I thought it was kind of an insult to the original RWBY gang, honestly. Then we have a King in Black tie-in, Scream. It was only 1 issue. I was hoping they'd bring it back. This was actually very good, I thought. I was hoping it would come in the 5th issue of the main story. They'd bring it back in, but they did not. They chose not to. And Chapman was the writer on that. Then we have Sea of Sorrows, a horror book that was 5 issues long. It was, oh boy, this thing was really creepy. That is a recommend all the way, but I did finish it. Rich Dueck, and that's a IDW comic, by the way. Image Comics brings out Shadowcraft. Henderson is the author. #1, I thought this was like a YA novel. I did not care for it. A lot of people like it, though. They're sticking with it. I just thought it was very predictable. Shadow Service, I bought this by accident. I thought it was a #1 issue. Comes out from Vault. It wasn't enough interesting, though, to keep me going. So I'm out on that one after issue #7. Shino Kaji, Shadow of Death. This is Black Box Comics. It was 3 issues, I believe. I liked it. It was a simple story, but well done. Very well done. And it's a hero's journey all the way. Sonia Versal, issue #1 from Dynamite. This was suggested to me. I didn't care for it. I'm out. It was confusing and not fun. Spawn 316. I heard that this was a jump-on point. Not so much. It was very well done, but I just felt like it's not for me. But Spawn Universe, I'm going to stick with that for now. Swamp Thing, DC Comics. This was an Infinite Frontier launch. The first 2 issues of the 10 were absolutely spectacular. I loved them. Ranvi and Mike Spicer, just killing it, just killing it. Beautiful art. The third and fourth issue, not so much fun. A lot of introspective, slow-paced. So I dipped out of it. I didn't want to go 6 more issues. Thor, this is Donny Cates' run. First, well, this is number 6. This is my favorite issue of this. I had the other ones, but I know what I did with it. I took it through 14. It's up and down. He's up and down on it. Sometimes really good, sometimes it's not so good. So I dipped out of that so I could read other stuff. I don't have an unlimited budget or time. Up next was a King in Black tie-in, The Union. Love this. A team book stationed in Britain. Went 5 issues. Just the first one was really King in Black. The rest took place on their own. Just a lot of fun, a lot of humor. David Christ was the writer for that Marvel book. Vietnam humor coming out from Behemoth. This was really good. Rossi was the artist, a writer, I should say. Coppola was the artist. 4 issues, and it was great. A little disappointed at the very, very end, but other than that, just spooky, scary stuff. It's a black and white comic, just really well done, really creepy, nightmarish. The Witcher, Fading Memories is the name of this arc. It was 4 issues, very strong. I liked it a lot. Bartosz Sitzbauer was the writer on that. And finally, the next Witcher, Witch's Lament, same author as before, 1 of 4. I could only get 2 issues in. The art is really poor, in my opinion, awful, and the story is just not interesting, so I dipped out of that. So thanks for stopping by and listening to the video, why I stopped reading these books. First time I've done one like this. Let me know if you liked it. Please subscribe if you haven't. Please like. And we'll see you next time at the Temple of Tomes. This is Indie Comics Jones bidding you adieu. Whoops.